everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be doing my March wrap-up. So if you guys watched my February wrap-up, then you guys might remember that I had an insane reading month in February. Like, I read 20 books, and February is the shortest month of the year. It was just ridiculous. I don't know how I did it. This month I had a really good reading month as well. I was able to read 13 books, which isn't quite as great as February, but I'm still really happy with it. I mean, 13 books is a lot to be reading in a month. That's more than some people even read in a year, so I'm quite content with that number. I was reading a lot towards the beginning and the middle of the month. Like, I had a lot of really quick reads that just took me a day or even a night to read, which was awesome, but towards the end of the month I kind of started to peter out. I've been working a ton lately. If you guys have watched my videos recently, you follow me on Twitter, you might know that I picked up a third job just for the next little bit, so I'm not going to be working it forever, but I picked it up for the next little bit just to gain some extra money before I go off to Europe. So that's been taking up a lot of time, and quite honestly, I just, at the end of the day, like, I normally do most of my reading right before I go to sleep at night, but I've been so tired that all I've wanted to do is just sit and veg, basically do nothing, watch some mindless TV. Like, I've been watching Parks and Rec, and I'm not really even enjoying it so much, but I've been watching it and like just kind of tuning out, basically. I don't know, it's really weird. I just have been so tired, and I really do want to get some reading done, but I don't have the brain power for it right now. So I'm hoping that in the beginning of April I'll kind of start picking it up again, but without further ado, let's just get into the books that I read in March. Also, if I have a review for any of these books, I will link it down below for you guys. I haven't done a review in a while because I'm kind of in a weird spot with my reviews. Like, I have a lot of books that I want to review, but I don't have enough to say about them to do a full discussion on, and I kind of just want to do a really quick spoiler-free thing, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. We'll figure it out, and then if I do any reviews, they'll be linked down below. So the first book that I finished in the month of March was Winter by Marissa Meyer. I am finally done the Lunar Chronicles series. I'm so excited. Like, it took me forever to read this series. I don't know why. I just didn't pick up Cress for the longest time, so then I had just read the first two for like a couple of years, and then I finally picked them up this past year, and I read them, and I really enjoyed them. I thought this was an awesome series. I love everything about it. Like, it's such a unique retelling, and I love retellings, especially recently. I have been all about them, so I'm so excited that I finally finished this series. This one was a Snow White retelling. You got to know Winter, a new character, and it was really cool to see a new character. I love the fact that these books all focus on like kind of introducing a new fairy tale character. It's just amazing. Highly recommend, and I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a really solid conclusion to the series. My one problem with it was I found that at times it was kind of dragging and it was a bit longer than it needed to be. So sometimes when I say seriously, Siri hears me and thinks I'm saying, "Hey Siri," so she literally just wrote down everything I just said, so thank you, Siri.
Not a problem.
Amazing. After that, I picked up Hunted by Megan Spooner. I had an arc of this, but since I got my uppercase box for this month, I'll link that unboxing down below for you guys. I got a finished copy of it, which I'm so excited about because it's so pretty, and I loved this book. Like I said, I've been super into retellings recently. That's kind of one of my spring things. I really like reading retellings. I don't know, maybe because it's like the rebirth of an old story. Oh, there we go. But I loved this one. I thought it was such a great retelling because it seemed to be staying more true to the original fairy tale, and in that way it had kind of its own fairy tale vibe to it. Like, it wasn't entirely exciting, it wasn't very fast paced, it was kind of slow burning, but in that way I felt like it worked really well because it read like a real fairy tale. So I loved it. I thought it was so well done, and I just really like Amy Coffin and Megan Spooner. Like, she is the co-author of the These Broken Stars series. What's it called? Starbound trilogy. She's the co-author of that, and this is her first book on her own, and I just thought it was so well done. Like, I clearly love both of them because I have loved everything that they have put out, and I really hope she'll do more retellings in the future because this one was just so amazing. Also, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I don't know if I said that, but it is, and I haven't seen the live action remake yet, it. I need to go and see it. I've heard it's amazing, but if you haven't seen it yet either, or if you have seen it and you're just so excited about it that you need to read more Beauty and the Beast stuff, pick this up because it will satisfy that need. So I ended up giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I will be doing a review as soon as I figure out how I want to do my reviews. Like, I still want to do the discussion ones, but I want to figure out a way to be able to do spoiler-free ones at the same time. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but as soon as I figure that out, I will do a review for this. After that, I picked up The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis. This is the third book in the Chronicles of Narnia if you read them in chronological order, which I really like to read things in chronological order. This is in publication order, but I like reading chronologically, so I picked up this one and I did really enjoy it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's just a really cool series, an awesome world to get lost in, and I just really enjoy them. After that, I picked up Pretty Wicked by Kelly Sharon. I don't know if it would be like a hard C or if it's CH. I don't really know, but this was actually recommended to me by my professor because it is her friend who wrote this book, and it's all about this like female serial killer. It was really cool, very gory for my taste, but it was a pretty solid story and I did end up enjoying it, so I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. After that, I picked up Alex and Eliza by Melissa De La Cruz. This is exactly what you think it is. It's a love story about Alex and Eliza from Hamilton the musical. I didn't know this was coming out. They kind of kept it quiet, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people got ARCs for it, and I was like, I want a copy of it. So I requested one and I got a finished copy, so thank you so much, Penguin, for this. I was so excited to have it, and I read it and I have really mixed feelings about it, to be honest. Like, I loved it, but at the same time I had quite a few issues with it. Now, it's not really a retelling of the Hamilton musical, because the Hamilton musical focuses a lot more on Hamilton himself and on the political aspect. Now, this is more so about the love story between Alex and Eliza, and it's focusing more so on Eliza's point of view of things. Like, it does also focus on Alex's, but mostly on Eliza's. So I thought it was awesome though to get her point of view because I love her. I think she's amazing, so it was awesome to be reading from that perspective. And like I said, I do have a ton of thoughts, so I really want to do a review. I just need to kind of formulate my thoughts, and then I will do a review and discussion for it. I haven't had the time to like write out my thoughts because I have so many about this one, so I will get there eventually. This was really hard for me to rate, but I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Like, I really just need to do a review to go more into depth because it's very hard to explain my feelings on this one. After that, I picked up Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. This was read for my modern drama class and I did not like it in the least. Like, a lot of the stuff that we've been reading for that class is kind of like the Americana stuff, and I'm not into that at all, so this one I definitely wasn't into, and I ended up giving it a 2 out of 5 stars, and that's kind of being generous. After that, I just wanted something really easy and quick, so I picked up Wanderlust by Jen Malone. This is a story all about this girl who, her sister was supposed to be leading this group of elderly people on a tour across Europe, but then something ends up happening, so she ends up taking over the tour for her sister, and it's really just her putting herself outside of her comfort zone and just going out there and traveling Europe. So if you guys have been following me on any social media at all, you guys know that I am going to Europe for a month, actually a month from today. Like, today is Sunday, so it is, what's the date? April 2nd, and I'm leaving on May 2nd, so literally a month from today I'm leaving, and I'm so excited. So it's been like all that I'm talking about, but anyways, this is all about traveling across Europe, so I just knew I had to read it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid story. Like, it does kind of have this sense of foreboding to it that got a little bit much at times for me, but at the same time, it was a really good read. It was super cute. I loved the travel aspect of it. I think it was really well done because I find a lot of YA travel books aren't that well done, so I was really excited to be reading one that was really well done. I just said well done like 12 times in that sentence, but I couldn't think of a synonym for well done. Really good? I don't know. My brain is shutting off now, but I really enjoyed this and I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, and this is one, once again, where I want to do like a quick review for it, but I don't really know how I'm gonna do that yet, so maybe we'll have a review coming. We'll see. Then I picked up Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a Beauty and the Beast story. I love this cover, and that's kind of why I bought it, to be honest, but I wanted to read it because of the live action remake coming out, which you guys know because I said earlier in this video I haven't seen yet, but I really want to, and I kind of read this to tie me over until I go and see it, but I didn't love it. Like, it was okay. I just felt like there was something missing from it, and I I don't know. I liked it, but didn't really love it. I think it just had a lot to live up to, and I just kind of felt like it was dragging the whole time and there wasn't really a whole lot happening. It took quite a while for the action to get going, so I wasn't a huge fan of it. I don't know. It was just kind of average for me, so I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. Then after that, I picked up Empress of a Thousand Skies by Eliza. This book unfortunately ended up disappointing me a lot. I felt like it had a lot of potential, but it just, everything kind of fell flat for me. The characters, the world, it just wasn't really well developed. It kind of felt like it was rushed. Like, it was a very quick read, but to the point where it was almost too quick, which is something I don't say too often, but I just felt like you weren't really given the chance to get to know the world and really get used to it. So it just kind of bleh. That was just kind of my only feeling about it. However, I did like how it tackled some pretty important contemporary issues in an away setting. I thought that was really cool, but just the rest of the story, it wasn't there for me, and I just didn't feel like I clicked with anything really, and I was just bored, quite frankly. So I ended up giving this a 2 out of 5 stars. Then after that, I picked up The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I have been saying The Upside of Unrequited forever. I don't know why, because I know that it's unrequited, but for some reason I just said it once and then it just stuck with me. And then someone commented on the video that I last mentioned this in, and they were like, isn't it unrequited? And then I was like, you're totally right. And then I even googled it just for good measure, and it's unrequited. So my bad, but now I got it right. But I'm not going to say too much about this book because I do really want to do a review for it, because I loved it. Like, I loved this book so much because I found it was so relatable for me. I just thought it was so good. It was like a lot of portions of it were like I was just reading about my life, and it's so connected with the story and the characters, and I just thought it was absolutely amazing. I just loved it so much. So I'm going to be doing a full review for this once I find the time to film it, so I will link that down below whenever I do it. But oh my goodness, this book was so good. So obviously I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Also, this is the author of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and this is coming out on April 11th, so stay tuned because it is amazing. After that, I picked up Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. This is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and I am kind of on a mission right now to read a bunch of Alice in Wonderland retellings so then I can do a guide just on Alice in Wonderland retellings. So this was the next one on my list. I have a ton on my list, some that I still need to purchase, so I'm like just making my way through them slowly but surely, so you'll get that video eventually, but I just don't know when. But anyways, I actually really enjoyed this. I had pretty low expectations going into it because I had heard really mixed things, but I was pleasantly surprised. Like, it kind of takes the political and focuses on that, which I've never seen with a Wonderland retelling. So that was a really cool perspective to take, and I loved the characters. I loved that political intrigue and how there were just little elements of Wonderland thrown in there that if you're a true lover of Wonderland like I am, then you would pick up on, and it just made the reading experience amazing. It was just really good, and I plan on doing a review for this one very soon, so stay tuned for that. I will say though, it did drag a little bit in parts, but I just loved being in a kind of Wonderlandish setting so much that I just kind of looked past that and I loved it. So overall, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. If I'm being really critical, then like a 3.5, 3.75 out of 5 stars. After that, I read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Yes, I finally did it. You guys have seen this book on so many TBRs. It is not even funny. Like, it has been on so many of my TBRs. It has been on like my yearly TBRs for the past 2 years, and I just have never gotten to it, but I finally did it this past month. I did it, and I really loved it. It was so good. I just love Jane Austen because she has that like undercut humor that is just like, I love her irony. It's just amazing. So I really loved this, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And the final book that I read this month was Geek Arella by Ashley Poston. I was so pleasantly surprised by this book because it was a lot better than I was kind of expecting it to be. I was kind of just expecting it to be really this cute whatever read, but it's actually like a retelling of Cinderella, but in a modern day setting where Cinderella is this geeky girl and Prince Charming is starring in her like favorite sci-fi show, the remake of that. And I just thought it was so cute. I loved the fact that it was like a legitimate Cinderella retelling, like complete with the evil stepmother and like the stepsisters, like all that stuff. It had all of the Cinderella things. It was really like a Cinderella story, but kind of remade and revamped into this book. It was amazing and I really enjoyed it, so I will be doing a review for this one very soon. Also, thank you to Penguin for sending me a copy of this. I'm very glad that I picked it up. So those are all the books that I read in March. I actually finished Geek Arella like a week and a half ago, but I haven't finished a book since then, which is making me very sad, so I really want to get back on the reading wagon. Like, I've tried to pick up a couple of books and it just hasn't been working out. Not that I haven't been enjoying them, I just have not had the energy to really focus on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick up a really quick contemporary and see if that will kind of get me back into my reading. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you read this past month, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!